So can you explain how this encampment came about?
Originally, we were at the Sheraton Hotel, and we were in there because the police did more or less a straight-up murder. A cop had 18 offenses on him. He was a senior officer at the site, and the other officers did not interfere. They allowed him to choke that guy to death. 2 held down and backstabbed. The other guy stood by and watched. Now, if somebody is being attacked, even by an officer, those other officers are supposed to interfere. This place we set up was to keep us away from the police department and the National Guards, to keep the people safe. That's the reason we were in the hotel. And when the owner asked us to leave, the people who were in charge of our group left. We told the women and children to leave the place. We told other people to come down to Powderhorn Park. And the thing about it, afterwards, there was an aftermath. The criminal element who was there, they busted into the hotel's rooms, stole the TVs, did a lot of damage, broke into the vending machines, all types of things.
And this was a hotel where some of the homeless people were able to live?
Yes, until the owner kicked us out.
And this predated the George Floyd incident?
No.
Or no, it didn't?
No, it didn't. It came after the George Floyd, because we're all afraid of the cops, because they have too much authority. They can kill us, and they don't get punished. I mean, there's been cases, Orientals, blacks, whites, every race. All life matters, even the animals matters to me. It's just a point. Cops do not have the right to use that deadly force. That guy was accused of passing a counterfeit bill. You could go up and make a deal with me and give me back $20. I'm gonna put it in my pocket. I'm not gonna check it. It doesn't mean he was the one who produced it. And the idea of being killed for a $20 forged bill is ridiculous. And they can claim that he was fighting them and stuff. There's enough video cameras what was out there would caught everything.
So when you were in the hotel initially, the owner had let you in?
Yes.
And then you said there was a problem with the rioters that came in, or what happened exactly?
No. What it is we promised to pay him a certain amount of money for the use of his hotel. He wasn't getting no money because there was nobody traveling.
Right.
So we offered to pay, that way he had money.
From the virus and other things, right?
And he allowed us the hotel. It's just the same as the Hennepin counties is renting out the Holiday Inns and all the other kind of places to put certain people in them. We went in and asked him, okay, we'll pay you a certain amount of dollars to use your hotel. We had donations coming in. We passed them out to the people in the hotel. We passed it back to the community.
Where did the donations come in from?
From the community. People
from the internet, or just?
We put it out on the internet, and they responded. They came out with food. They came out with hygiene items. They came out with everything we needed. And what we couldn't use and what we couldn't do is we pushed the button more. We put it back to the community. Lake Street was totaled. A lot of people can't travel that far. They're old. They can't get anywhere. So they come to us. We give them whatever we have. We put it right back to the community.
Are you affiliated with some kind of organization, or is it just independent
I'm not.
people?
I'm a homeless person. I came up here at age 16 with my mother. A year later, she died. I became homeless at age 17. I'm 62. I've never had an apartment or nothing. I feel for these people. I'm at the end of my life. I'd rather see these people get apartments before me. Families, elderly, people with medical problems. They need homes. They don't need to be sleeping on the grounds like animals. They're human beings. They should be treated as human beings. This country is the richest country in the world. They should have homes or a place to live. And when the government just denies them, I mean, they get all these taxes. Like I said, the military bases are sitting empty. Why don't they turn them over to the homeless? It could start your own little homeless cities. You got shops, you got garages, you got housing, you got all kinds of things. Hospitals, everything on those bases, water towers. But they sit empty. They were bought by
And
the
on
people.
top of that, how much money does the government spend on wars and all that?
Yes, and look at the military. Did they come in and offer us tents, sleeping bags, or anything? They were bought by people. MERs, military rations. You throw water or snow in it, it heats up. It's a hot meal. They don't offer us nothing. The government is shunning the idea of homeless people. They want them to be homeless. They get money for arresting them by the cops. They get money for putting them in the courts. They get money putting them in the workhouse. They get money putting them in the prison. Every year when they get more and more cases, they ask for more money to do this thing. And it's wrong. Country has more prisoners than any country in the world. And you should see some of the conditions in there. They got boxes of apples, says animal feeds only, but they give them to the inmates.
So you mentioned that Lake Street got demolished, essentially.
It looks like a war zone. It looks like Beirut.
Yeah, I was down there. I saw it. What was your reaction when that happened? I mean,
Originally, I was in a hospital for heart surgery, or heart problems. I was in there for 2 days. I was watching this on TV. When they released me on Saturday and Sunday at 3 o'clock, I marched in here. There was no buses running. I came in to help out. This is my community. We had people come from the outside what did the looting and the arsons and stuff. They took most of that stuff back to other cities like Chicago and other places.
so you think the people who instigated the real violent parts of it, they came from the outside?
Yeah, look at the rest. They'll show you that the majority of them were from outsiders. All they had tax on the buildings.
What did you think about what they did from like a moral standpoint?
Let me put it this way: 3rd Precinct defended their area down there, right? They sprayed people with some type of chemical. They went over to Target and requested to buy milk. Target refused. So I can understand why Target was hit, because they did not help the people who were struggling. I mean, the cop should have been suspended a long time ago. 18 offenses? How is he a cop? And then you have cops, police and cops. Okay,
But then it extended to other small businesses, other parts of the neighborhood where there was damage and things.
That's because of outside influence. They cited the riots to cover up the
Who were the outsiders? What was their motivation? Are they ideological or?
No, the motivation is they made money off it. They came in and stole TV, jewelry, all the different other things from the stores. They took it back to the
Because if you go down there, you see like there's anarchist logos and things like that.
Anarchies, you got to remember, some people try to blame it on white supremacists and all that. There's certain people who did do that, but it's just mostly people coming from other states what wanted to loot and get money, profit. They took all that stuff back to Chicago, Detroit, St. Louis, and other states.
But why couldn't they? I mean, because there was looting and riots in Chicago. Like, why couldn't they just have done it in Chicago? Why would they come all the way to Minneapolis?
Okay, where's the headquarters for most of your gangs? Chicago. Even up here, their bosses are in Chicago. If you're Blood, headquarters is in Chicago. You have a guy with the leader up here, but his leader's down there. Same thing with GD, same thing with other gangs. The idea is, also, if I'm going to promote something, hey, let's loot this state and this state. Every state what got looted is the ones were outsiders. It wasn't their people. The people were starting over this murder of George. It was all due to the idea of the violence of the cops. For one thing, if you got a knife and you're trying to attack me and I got a gun and I got a taser, why wouldn't I use my taser before I use a gun?
What has been the police's approach toward this? Have they shown up at all, or what is their posture?
We try to keep the police out of here. We're afraid of the police because they are brutal. I mean, everybody here will not deal with any kind of cop. If somebody gets beat up or anything, we will not call the cops because they are worse than what was happening to us.
Was there an issue of somebody dying here, or I thought I read about some kind of problem with that? Was there?
There was a problem on the west side. There was supposedly a 14-year-old girl raped. I should say did get raped. She reported it to the med tent and security. They tried to cover it up. Somebody came over here, told us about it. Our med called someone. One of our people went over there and sat with the girl until we got her in the hospital. And it's the same thing. There is violence in this place. You got drug users, you got alcoholics. You always got some type of thing because they're trying to mask their hurt and their problems. If the government give them an opportunity to have housing, I think they can get over the drugs, over the alcohol. The idea is they would have an incentive to work to keep a place instead of just being out on the street where they don't care.
What is as best as you can approximate it, what is like the racial composition of the people that are here?
Neutral.
Neutral.
Everybody.
So mixed.
Neutral. The idea is everybody's one. We're all homeless. We're not looking at skin. We're not looking at the religion. We're not looking at the sexes. We're all homeless. We're all of a human race. Not everything what happened in the past stays in the past. We're looking for a better future, and that is for housing, for everybody.
Right.
And we're not trying to, okay, he's native, he's black. There's no, it can't be that way. When I hand up the donations here, I'm fair. Whoever comes up here can have anything they want. Anyone on the streets can get whatever they want. We get from the people of the street, the community. We give back to the community. We're not trying to hog anything. We're not trying to sell anything. We're trying to do the best to help everybody. When you got the COVID-19, you got people who are fired. What's going to happen when that's over with? Most of them won't be able to pay their utility bills or their rents. Where are they going to end up? Right here, being homeless. They don't get money saved up because they were using it because they don't have no other income coming in.
Do people here take precautions against COVID? I mean, is there hygiene encouraged, masks, that kind of thing that were
encourage
recommended?
hygiene. If they want to wear a mask, they can. But most of us figure, in the book it says, when your time is due, your time is due. No matter if you're wearing a mask, you're going to die at a certain time. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die. It's my time to die. I've had heart surgery, spinal surgery, my toe amputated because of diabetes. I have sleep apnea, I have all kinds of things. But a lot of this stuff I can't deal with on the streets. Look how much insulin costs. Look how much it would take for me to get a CPAP machine where I can hook a long enough cable to go somewhere in a place where I have to hook it up to. I mean, over here, you got all these people with medical problems and other things, and they won't help. I mean, common sense, if I'm supposed to be on a CPAP machine, don't you think I should be in a place where I have electricity? If I need medication, don't you think I should be able to afford it instead of $100 a vial?
So the park commission is having a vote soon about the status of this place. What's going on with that exactly?
I am going to tell you this straight up. If the park board decides to close this place down, we're not going to leave. We're going to stay here. Send in the cops. They think the protest of the last time is going to be larger, and it's going to be in a lot of other cities because they have to take care of their homeless. We're human beings, not animals. We shouldn't be sleeping outdoors. We should have a roof over our heads. And to consider us lower class people because we're homeless, no. We're human beings just like them.
Have you had discussions with the members of the park board?
I sent a 200-word letter to them before their meeting last time. And after that, they approved the sanctuaries in the parks. Now because certain things are happening, they're trying to decide differently. Well, you put them on the streets, what do you think is going to happen? You don't have an increase on crime. And at least they're here, they're getting certain things, what they need. I mean, I lay you odds. If you look at the statistics right now, crime rate is down because of this shit. Because they're here, they're getting food, they're getting clothing, they're getting whatever they need. I mean, common sense is do the status. There's no way they're out there on the streets robbing and stealing for stuff.
If they vote to shut down the park, right, do you think some of the protesters will come back and support the people living here?
I know they will. The last time we had a march down here, we called them and we asked them to stay on to one side, away from the park, to make sure these people didn't agitate them, and they did. And we're all united for George. We're all united for the homeless. And if our neighbors are united for against the homeless.
So the people in the neighborhood support it?
Yes. There's a few that get upset at the noise level at nighttime, and these people are getting drug dealers coming down here. But the thing about it is, like I said, would you rather have them on Lake Street or Bloomington where people are going to get hurt? At least we can watch out after. If somebody will these, we can help them. If they're out in the alleyway, they're dead. If they're out on the street, they're dead. Nobody's going to be able to give them a knock-knock kid.
All right, well, thanks for giving the rundown of the situation here.
One more thing.
Yeah.
If women are out there drinking and getting drunk and passing out, think of how many females got sexually assaulted because they passed out. If they're here, they got security. And I mean, we keep an eye on everybody. We don't want no type of harm to anybody. We want everybody to be united as human beings. No matter your skin, your religion, or whatever. It has to be we're human beings.
All right, what was your name?
My name is Vaughn.
All right, good to meet you. I'm Mike.
Okay, how you doing?